Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Elm Creek Farms. This is episode number 14, and thanks for stopping by. Much, much appreciated. I will just start off and say that today's episode is going to be short, I believe, simply because I am having troubles with simplysafemods.com. I've had It's been some ongoing issues the last 6 months, maybe slightly longer, with performance on the website. I am down to my last final weeks of my contract, and I am going to be basically moving to a new host. But in the meantime, I need to try to get the issues sorted out with the current one because, um, well, that way there's no downtime. All right, so we would be, I think personally, we would be foolish not to take advantage of the fact that we have something like 85,000 liters of slurry that's sitting in our slurry pit, and not take advantage of putting that on the fields as a first step fertilization layer if we have the ability to do that. And we do. We do have the ability to do that here. George is right here with us, and we're going to drive George up to one of the fields, and he's going to start putting corn in the ground. Our first corn crop's going in. Of course, as I had said before, corn is going to be the staple for us as far as our silage is concerned. We're going to attempt to do that. Um, chop chop corn into silage, and hopefully that silage pit will work one more year. And still haven't emptied it yet. Don't have the capacity for it just yet, and I think I can squeeze through here. I think I put enough room in between the chicken coop and the fence, and I did. All right. So yeah, we're down to, I think, less than 10,000 liters, something like that. Let's see. No, less than 20,000 liters. So 17, just shy of 18,000 liters is what we have left. As you know, the dairy farm, the large dairy barn only holds 115,000, and I believe we're at about 110 right now. So hopefully by mid-May for sure, we should be able to empty that silo, make the repairs on it, and be good to go once we get to the point to where that we have the ability to begin chopping corn for silage. So some really cool things about the way that slurry works in FarmSim 22, if you don't mind me telling you. If you see up there at the top, it says activate doubled application rate. So if we wanted to, and we're not going to, because, well, was saying that we got quite a bit of slurry. I don't know how far this is going to go. I suppose we can try and see. But if you wanted to, you can activate the doubled application rate, and it's just going to put twice as much slurry on the field. That's going to go ahead and count towards your fertilization bonuses. So, in other words, if we're going to fertilize field number 7, which is what we're thinking about doing here, if I activate the doubled application rate, we're actually putting twice as the amount of slurry down, and we'll go ahead and get both of those benefits, because right now we're at 0% fertilization. The challenge obviously is that we've got a small slurry spreader. I don't know what doubled rate how much that's going to go, and how many trips we're going to have to go back and forth to the farm just to be able to do this small field. What we are looking at doing, though, is doing this field and that field over there with slurry, just see how it goes. But I think we would be foolish, not to put slurry down on these fields and take advantage of that. Now here we're just going to go ahead and seed directly into the ground. We had already plowed, lined. Obviously, we joined these fields together last late fall, winter time frame, and we already plowed and limed these fields to bring everything kind of neutral. And I believe that one section of the field is not fertilized and the other two are, so we're just going to go ahead and seed directly onto this cultivated ground from last fall. So we'll go ahead and let George do his thing, and he'll just seed over those weeds and put all that in. And we may try to come over after he's done and herbicide this to see if we can also prevent the weeds from growing like we have been able to do in the other field. And I'm pretty sure that field is still weedless. Let's go over and check it out and see. Um, we don't have a whole lot going on. While we do need to get the corn in the ground, and we will do that this month because the corn is able to be planted this month. So we've got a nice. This is oats, and there's no weeds, and we're at 50% fertilization. So we are good to go there. And hopefully George is going to continue to do his job. It's going to make quick work out of it, that is for sure, because that is a nice sized um, setup that he's got there behind the Fent. Fent pulling a John Deere. That's just the way it worked out this morning. So we're just going to apply a single layer, and we'll just see how things are going to go. Hopefully I'm in the right spot. I tell you what, let's back up just a little bit because I don't think the working width is quite that wide. So here we go. Spread and slurry. There we go. But I was thinking about this, and to be quite honest, when I was setting the farm up, I knew about slurry as a fertilizer. I have used slurry on many of my Let's Plays. We have typically gone with the big slurry machines that inject the slurry directly into the soil and use this field side slurry containers, that sort of thing, um, along with it. And so, see, we have applied 46% just on one pass. So, yeah, we would not get very far if we were doing double the rate. So anyway, I knew the benefits. However, slurry production with FarmSim 22 appears to be a little faster than what my experience has been with it, getting started in the early stages of gameplay, and especially with only 80 cows. I mean, we're running 80 cows, and we've already amassed a fairly large amount of slurry. And so I was thinking to myself, well, Jerry, you know what you can do with that slurry since there's quite a bit of it. Um, Go ahead and put that onto your field. So that is what we're doing, and that's how we're going to take advantage of that. Because essentially, if we're running a dairy, and we are, essentially that is like free. That's free fertilizer. That's free money. That's black gold. I've called it black gold before, and that's exactly what it is. So hopefully we can get to the end of this row before we run out of this black gold, and then we'll head back and get another load and bring it down and get it on the field. And no, we didn't quite make it to the end. Oh well, not a problem. We have the ability to go back and get more. Now we are still running without manure. I almost thought about dropping the manure heap in, um, but so that way we could do solid manure on the fields at some stage, possibly like in the fall after we have harvested. Um, if they don't need lime, we could go ahead and drop manure on it and maybe mulch or something like that. But just don't have the space. And I think in order to really plop that thing down, I would need to put it back behind over behind the other shed over there by the greenhouses, and I just don't want to have that much clutter over there, and also I don't want to limit and impact what our grass abilities are going to be for mowing is concerned, because that is how we're going to get our hay, is obviously from the verge around the fields as well as that area over there. And I believe we can start mowing pretty soon. The grass is looking as healthy as it can be for just meadow grass. You know, I had talked about the possibility of taking a field and planting grass on it, and you know, might still do that at some stage. And I don't know what George is doing, but whatever he's doing, he's got himself in between those electrical poles. But we'll just let him. We'll leave him alone and let him figure that out. And of course, that is part of the challenge with fields that are not perfectly square or that have some obstacles around them. And you know, there's a lot of still frustration and such with people about some of the challenges with FarmSim 22. And as I'm recording this in the real world, it's, I think, the 10th of December, and we don't know an exact date when the patch is going to come out. What I did see, and I posted this on my Discord, Grizzly Bear Sims Discord, was that Giants had tweeted saying that they anticipated the patch to come out in the next week or so. And I believe that that is an exact quote of that tweet, in the next week or so. And that was posted, I believe, on the 6th. So, you know, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that, from the point in time that I'm recording this video. So it is possible. It is possible that that in the next week or so we will have that patch available to us. And of course, we don't know what that's going to change about the game, about the base gameplay. We don't, you know, obviously it should hopefully fix some of the challenges and some of the issues that's going on with it, but we don't know how that's going to affect crop growth cycles. It's sort of all over the map. We certainly don't know how it's going to affect the whole financial piece behind the game, as far as, and I pointed this out to you when I've looked at that, at the sell, you know, the price fluctuations and all of that. You know, that's kind of all over the place as far as its effectiveness. And some people are saying, just, you know, don't even, just ignore it, because what it's telling you is completely wrong. What it's telling you is completely wrong at this particular point in time. So yeah, we are expecting those kind of things, but you know, is it gonna change because it's fixing things? How is that going to affect kind of what we know now? This is interesting, because I did not ask George to seed that field in corn, yet he's doing it, and that's okay, because that is going to be one of our corn fields. But he managed to jump out of this field one, and which was field 1, 2, and 3, I believe, over to this field. So that's fine. That's fine. I told you, he's a great hand. He knew that we were going to plant that field in corn anyway, so he's like, might as well go ahead and do it. Jerry, you're busy recording your video, talking about slurry. I'm going to just go ahead and do that, and then, you know, we'll reconvene once we're all done with our chores this morning. That's the sign of a good farm hand right there, I tell you. Someone that can think for themselves and do things without you having to tell them. Of course, Bo is also equally a good field hand. Bo takes care of our greenhouses and our eggs, chickens, and does a little bit of field work here and there. George and I have been showing him the ropes with some of the tractors. We let Bo we let Bo do some rocking, de-rocking the other day because that John Deere tractor that we use with the rocker, de-rocker, is a little bit smaller, and we figured, okay, well, as long as he stays within the boundaries of the field, and there's nothing for him to necessarily run into, then we'll just kind of let him see how he gets on, and he did a good job. He did a good job, but hopefully we can get him up to speed where he can. Won't probably put him in a combine this year, but if we could get him up to speed on, he can drive, so he could drive a tractor and a tipper, um, and we'll just see. But it's good to have him because right now he's part time and he comes out when we need him to. And the other good thing about Bo is that he really enjoys doing what he does, and that with him kind of tending to the animals, helping to make sure that the eggs are picked up, that they're cartoned up, lettuce, tomatoes are picked and cartoned, and have everything ready to go, will probably turn him loose also on doing some deliveries. He's already running produce up to the big house for our B&B operations. He's already doing that, and is helping out tremendously. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I told you this was going to be a short episode, and we're coming up here on about 17, 18 minutes. So I do need to get on with my day. As I said, it is Friday here in the real world. We are supposed to finally, and I'll update you later. We're supposed to finally get our first snowfall of the season. We have not had snow in Denver, Colorado, measurable snow in Denver, Colorado, since something like April of last year. So it's going to be a nice thing when it happens. So anyway, thank you all again for watching. Much much appreciated. We will come back together probably in mid-April, because since George has already taken the initiative to get that going in corn, we'll also put corn at the other field up there, 1 and 3, I think it is. Get that done. And so this corner of the map, these fields, not the field that we just slurried, but the other fields are going to be our corn. And as I've said before, we will start chopping that corn um, early to turn into silage. But then if we can get 150 some odd liters out of two of these fields, this one and that one perhaps, we may just go ahead and let the first field over there, we may just go ahead and let that mature and then combine that for to sell the corn. Anyway, it looks like George has stopped, so I will go over there and see what is going on with him. And thank you again for watching. It is very much appreciated. And I will talk to you all very soon right here on Elm Creek Farms. Bye for now.